Hi guys, today we are making raclette. Not a ton of ingredients for today's dish, but I have my potatoes boiling already. We've made them a couple times now, so I know you guys know how to make those. We have our cheese, which is a raclette. This is from Switzerland. This I just got at Market Basket. There are 8 slices to a pouch, so I grabbed 2 of them. It is a bit expensive. It's $5 per pouch. So depending on the size of your family, I would take that into account. And then I have a couple different meat selections here. So I got just a trio of salami, so 3 different types, just for some variety. And then I have prosciutto cotto, which is a type of Italian cooked ham. There's another type of prosciutto, which is like a dried ham, but I grabbed this one instead. And then I have my mini appareil à raclette. This is just a little one. This is perfect for 1 to 2 people. You just have this pan. It can fit about 2 slices of cheese, and it is actually heated up by tea lights. So I will light these, and that's what's going to melt the cheese in my pan. So typically, as I showed you guys in class today, you would have a large apparatus, and they have individual pans, and that's what you would use with a family or with some friends. But this is perfect for just 1 to 2 people. You can buy this on Amazon for, I think it's about $30. The larger machines run about $100, but if you just want to try it to see if you like it before you buy anything, you could always just melt this in a pan. You won't get the experience from it, but as long as you know you like the taste, then maybe at some point you can buy a product for it. So I'm going to light my little tea lights and get this pan warmed up. My potatoes are just about done. So those are lit. And I'll put this guy on here and get that warmed up. So raclette smells really strong. Yeah, this is a stinky cheese, but that's good. The stinkier the better. There's a ton of flavor with it. So it comes in these individual little slices or des tranches, and you will just put them straight on your little pan, and it should melt this way. And we'll just let that heat up for a little bit. I'm not sure how long it would take with the tea lights. It's generally pretty quick with the machine. So typically you would be preparing your potato with your meat while your cheese is warming up. So I'm just gonna wait on those potatoes and then I'll show you how to do that. My cheese is getting super melty. Typically when you have the machine, when you put it under, the heating element is on top of the cheese, so it gets the heat from the pan, but also the heat on top, so it melts a little bit better. But I think this is as good as I'm gonna get with this. So I have my potato here, and then I'm gonna choose whichever meat that I want. So I'm just gonna take one of each. And then what I'm going to do, and this I think is different with everybody, I'm just going to cut up my potato, and I did leave the skins on. And remember that potatoes are super hot because they hold their heat really well. So I cut out my potato like this, and just kind of mash it a little bit. And then I'm going to cut each of the pieces of meat into small bite-sized pieces. So now I have my meat cut up. So what I do, I know some people leave it on the side. I just put mine straight on top of the potatoes. And then we're gonna kind of work in sections here because we only have a limited amount of cheese to begin with. So typically when you have your individual pan, you would just have 1 slice of cheese. So look how bubbly this looks. It's like perfect. So I'm going to take my scraper and I'm going to scrape this piece of cheese onto my meat and potatoes there. And then I'm going to eat that, and while I'm eating this, I'm gonna put another piece of cheese, or 2 pieces of cheese on here to melt. Okay, so once again, when it's ready, typically it should just slide straight off the pan, just like that. And you can cover it, that's like perfect pour. Cover it over your potatoes and your meat, And then, like I said, you just put your pan back on, and then you add more cheese to melt while you were eating that one. Typically, like we discussed in class, you could also serve this with des cornichons, which are these little pickles that they have in Europe. A little bit different than the pickles that we have here, just because they're tiny. And then they also have pearl onions, those little tiny bulbs of onions that they'll serve it with as well. You could do a salad, really whatever, just little additions to this meat because it's definitely super heavy with the potatoes, the cheese, and the meat.